Hi everyone, and welcome to the Weekly Woo. Technically this is my work day, but I had a small break to come home and take care of some things, and part of that is you guys. So this week is going to feel good, even though we may run up against some power struggles, whether that's within ourselves, when it comes to the discipline, goal setting we may be approaching, or whether we're going to be seeing that projected outwards in some of our relationships. But it doesn't mean that it has to be dramatic. It just may be slightly tense here and there. We have a lot of planets which are moving into the sign of Taurus. I am a triple Taurus, so I'm excited about this. This means that there is an element of the energy that may feel like it slows down, but that's not really a good word. It's just gonna feel like we're more in our body. We're more in touch with the natural world. It's where like cooking, food, sensuality, pleasure is really gonna be more available, more accessible. We're just gonna be more aware of it and how it helps us in this pursuit, right, of this next chapter, the goals, the discipline that we're wanting. Now, I love that with all these planets moving into Taurus, we get Buffalo Spirit this week. God, whenever I pull this card, I feel so full, right? And if you look at that energy, that's such a full energy. I mean, this is a grass eater, and yet it's power, right? So it's like a gentle, benevolent creature until it's not, because it always has these horns to protect. That's the kind of energy we're walking into, which is like, there's a placidity, there's a calmness, but when activated, right, you get the horns. And people in my life, you know, how to use this power. Look at all that power. Maintain your grounding, and even when you may have to stand up for yourself, to do it in a noble way, right? And a way that when you're lying down to go to sleep, you're proud of how you handled yourself. You're proud of how you spoke, right? Because remember, North Node in Gemini, how we speak, what we write, it's all indicative of this new identity we're creating. Buffalo Spirit's message is, you have everything you need. You live in an abundant universe. So one of the things when I think about abundance mindset and the vibration of abundance and aligning with the vibration that is abundance, one of the tricks I actually learned from listening to Abraham Hicks constantly. And if you don't know what that is, Google that so much, or go to YouTube and find some of those talks. They're incredible. Is when you look at the natural world, it shows you what abundance truly is. So for instance, you take the blue sky, the abundance of blue, or you go out into nature and you look at the abundance of leaves, the abundance of grass, flowers, green. Even if you just work with the colors, like the abundance of that which is here, right? So abundance isn't just money, even though, you know, we relate abundance with that prosperity of wealth. Abundance is everywhere. And if you tap into that awareness, then inevitably, you know, what we call money, you're going to be able to manifest that kind of abundance too. But it really starts with looking at it in a holistic way where abundance is everywhere, and to appreciate, right? I always think of Buffalo also as the sense of gratitude, because that gratitude, inevitably, that vibration of gratitude, which is the highest we can be in as humans, it automatically connects you to all that is, this idea of enlightenment, where people understand that, oh my God, they're actually a part of everything. Everything is a part of you. You can't separate yourself from your brother, your sister, your enemy, right? That idea of one connection, oneness, all that is, gratitude is like this portal into it. So abundance and gratitude this week, that's going to be coming up, where maybe like, you need to redefine it in the way that I've just articulated, or you need to really lean into it. You need to go seek it out. If you're feeling that sense of lack, that fear of the future, you know, fear of your security, go out and let the world show you what abundance truly is. This also speaks to something that I've been talking about constantly this year, which is we have this goal, right? Whether this is like the new identity I'm talking about, or this is like a new project or a new relationship. And yet you may feel like, oh, well, how am I going to get everything that I need, right? Like I'm working on a product line and I'm like, how does this line up? How is this going to line up? The message this week is it's going to line up. It's not your job to figure out how. It's your job to stay in a place of receptivity, of trusting, of knowing if you've had this desire, it will come to you. It's a matter of you getting out of the way, doing the work, but then that which you can't control, you can't foresee, getting out of the way of it so that the universe can work in your life to manifest what you need, because it will. That's the message. Our archetype this week was the heart, and I love this because all these planets going into Taurus, Venus going into Taurus, it's, she's in her exaltation. It's also the moon is going into Taurus tomorrow. So we have Tuesday and Wednesday, which is super, super juicy, this beautiful, abundant energy. So we have this opening to access the power of nature to teach us about abundance, but also the idea of the heart, right? We know it's an organ, but the heart being a plane of consciousness, the ability to be in the heart center, literally being a vibration that we can access or not. We're either in it or we're not. And, from all of my learning and seeking and constant curious beginner's mind, what I found is that this idea of the heart center and really living in that place is actually what we call the fifth dimension, or like the new earth. And we access it by, in any given moment, really taking time before we make decisions, before we interact, to ask, okay, where am I? Am I coming from my heart? Am I coming from this place of love? Even if I'm dealing with challenging people or challenging circumstances, what vibration am I coming from? What dimension am I coming from? Not to discount the power of the mind, because indeed that last retrograde we had with the Mercury in Aquarius retrograde really showed us where our mind is working for us or if it's not. And the power of thought and the need that each of us have to discipline our thinking, that our thoughts need to be curated as much as we would curate our home decor, or our outfits or whatever that is that we're curating. But the heart center, this is an invitation. And in some ways, to be in the heart center, it does take a certain slowdown that I was talking about, the Taurus energy coming in. We just slow it slightly down, but not too much that we have inertia, that we're not acting forward on this beautiful new moon energy we've just had, which is going to propel us for the next month. But just slowing down enough to be able to ask the question in these charged moments, where am I coming from? Right? Am I coming from the heart, the soul? Am I coming from my mind, my ego? What is in charge right now? And the idea of the heart being the place, I want to continue to talk about this in the future. When we're in the heart space, when we're coming from our heart, we're literally living in a different vibrational reality than if we're not in our heart. And you'll be able to see, oh, I got out of my heart space and now I was in something else, and so things started happening. And you can see in your life, okay, this person is living in their heart and this person is not. Or this circumstance was created based on this place of heart. This circumstance was not. Our job, especially with the buffalo spirit, because there's a prophecy of the rainbow tribe, that people of all colors will come back to the philosophy of the indigenous people to bring healing to humanity and the planet. These two cards together tell me we're in that time. We're in it. And the way that we do that is to live in this heart space. Jesus was an example of this, right? This is why that archetype of Yeshua ben Joseph, Jesus, was so vitally important. It's why it's, defy the tests of time. It's so relevant because he was constantly showing us in the story of his life how to live from that place of the heart, even when you are being ostracized, rejected, killed. So as we come off Easter, this is another, just a reminder of, whether you're religious or not, it's not really about that. It's about what examples do we have to live our best self, our best life. And indeed, that was one of them. So we have time for another card. I'm going to use the Nature Speak Oracle because, right, if we have all this Taurus energy, go big or go home, Taurus, right? So one more message for us this week as these planets are all changing signs. We have shed the old aspen. So, right, if you watch the new moon video, the time of the new moon, we really don't want to, there's different beliefs, but this time we're still in it right now at the beginning of this week where it's super potent, where we're planting seeds, but we're also really aware of behavior, attitudes, relationships, whatever it is, like patterns. Let's just call it energetic patterns that may still come up even though we are in the new moon phase now, right? We shed in the dark moon, the balsamic moon, the new moon becomes exact, and we continue to move forward. This new moon, this energy has such spark, such oomph, demands such courage, that inevitably the old is still going to come up. The courage we have, though, access to go, no, I'm not going to do it that way again. I'm not going to go there again. If we're living in the heart place, right, that place of the heart, we're really going to see it. Where, okay, this thought pattern doesn't work. This way I'm relating doesn't work. This habit doesn't work. Because you already caught a whiff. You've already grasped what's to come. You've already grasped this higher vibration, the state of trusting, loving, faith in that abundance is going to be provided for you, that you are abundance. You just have to get into the vibration of it, right? You have access to all of it. One more energy oracle card because we have time. I try to do these 15 minutes and under. It doesn't always work, does it? Okay, one more. What else do we need to see about this week coming in? The energy of this week coming in. How do we max it out? The thinking man. Okay, so this goes back to what I was saying about the mind serving the heart, right? So we have a lot of choices. Whenever the North Node is in Gemini, it's about choices. Mars is still in Gemini. Choices. This Taurus energy is going to give us some time to process some things, to really think about which direction we want to go. And I want to encourage you, use that yes or no technique, because we want to be making choices that root us into the heart space, that root us into that place. We want to be making the choices that are going to make it easier for us to stay in this space of the heart, this place of the heart. This can also be a man in your life who is going to be giving you some really good advice, right? Or you may need to seek some advice from a male figure in your life. Also, when we get the thinking man, it's a time, it's interesting. I think Tuesday and Wednesday are really going to afford us some time to meditate, some time to get quiet. But once Thursday, Friday goes on, the moon goes into Gemini, and it's going to activate that North Node. It's going to activate that Mars in Gemini. So it's like we have a little space of time with that Taurus moon to come to center, to really think about, okay, the strategy of all choices. Is it going to put me in my heart place? Am I coming from this place of the heart? Because once at the end of the week, the Gemini moon starts going, it's going to be so much going on, so much communication, thinking, choices, relating. So I hope this helped you guys. I know for me, it definitely gave me some, that heart place, that even if it's difficult people, difficult circumstances, that discipline and courage to go, no, I'm going to be my best self. I'm going to come from the heart. I'm going to make decisions from the heart. And to stay open for other people to change as well. To stay open for people who may not have been coming from their heart to suddenly understand something this week and start coming from their heart, because that new moon, very potent. Okay, I'm already over. Love you all so much. Not taking new clients right now. Email me if you have any new questions. info@thegoodwoo.org. Bye. Have a great week.